We are ready. This is a wonderful item. I'd like to welcome Mr. Butler coming on up here to talk about all the wonderful things going on with Office 365 and a massive implementation effort that's been very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you. President Hicks, members of the governing board, Dr. Trujillo, and Council Ross, I am truly honored to be here today to present an overview of our progress regarding Office 365. So, with Office 365, teachers and staff in TUSD can collaborate in real time, access and share work from anywhere, anytime, on any device, as long as that device has an internet connection and a browser. We've made progress leveraging this powerful tool for teaching and learning. We're just getting started. One of the ways we roll out this to teachers in terms of professional development is by providing in-person professional development. The two slides that I'm showing right now represent in-person classes whereby over 790 teachers came out on a Saturday to learn how to use Office 365. That's what that represents. All day. Please note the times, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. We even had a... Did you want to say something there, Dr. Stone?
No,
okay.
Not at all.
We even had an Office 365 boot camp for principals. We didn't get all of them because of their busy schedules, but we got as many as we could. We have online professional development, which is available to any TUSD employee, anytime, anywhere. It's at their own pace, whenever they have time to do it, and they get to pick the professional development that they find as most appropriate to fit them, and they get a transcript. Moving towards the schools, we have 2 schools that have been participating in pilots for students to actually use Office 365. Those 2 schools are Cholla and TAP. And I want to point out that Cholla is the only Microsoft Showcase school in the state of Arizona, and we're going to find out exactly what a Microsoft Showcase school is later on in this presentation. That's the teacher teaching about digital citizenship at Cholla. Let's listen in on a very, very brief video clip on the teacher, and what she's going to tell us about is what it means to have Office 365 available for students in the classroom.
The students absolutely loved it. They loved being able to take an assignment that they did and submit it using the Office 365 products. They loved the fact that they could work on any of their stuff at home. It worked great for those kids that missed a day because of family emergencies. Everything was in there. They were able to pull it up and do it and have it done before they even came back. Other things, I did not really teach the kids how to create a sway other than point them in the right direction as to where it was and told them to have fun and explore it. The sways they came back with were amazing. They figured out how to insert pictures and insert information and make it really colorful, and they really enjoyed it. And that was with no guidance from me other than this is what I expect the final product to be. So that was really nice. It shows that these kids can do and are willing to try things out. If you put something in their hands, they're gonna explore it. And I found that out with Teams and with OneNote, and they really did, and they rose to the occasion. the students still ask if when we're gonna have it back again so they can use more of it.
And here we have a few pictures of the students at TAP utilizing Office 365. Now I want to point out, earlier on I said Office 365 can be used on any device as long as you have an internet connection, which means if a student, for any reason, had to be absent from school physically, they could still do work, send it in, get feedback from the teacher. All they need is any device and an internet connection. And that has and continues to happen at both schools. Speaking of schools and classrooms, now let's talk about Skype. Here we see a 9th grade teacher doing what's called a mystery Skype with his class and a class in Rio de Janeiro at the same time. If you think about the old game 20 Questions, the idea of a mystery Skype is to have one class figure out where the other class is in the world and back again, okay? So let's click on the link. This is not an exaggeration. The world is now our classroom using Skype, and the Microsoft educator community, which was the professional online development community that I mentioned earlier. Without leaving the classrooms, teachers and students are taking live virtual field trips with experts from museums, historical landmarks, and many more interesting places literally around the world. I think we've covered most continents by now. We did Antarctica. Yes, we did Antarctica too. So, and specifically the kids were learning directly from scientists doing research in Antarctica in real time. At Hudlow, they got a chance to visit the Intrepid Air and Space Museum in New York City. Didn't even have to bring a permission slip or a lunch. American history and English culturally relevant Mexican-American viewpoint class, the Aztec National Monument in Aztec, New Mexico, and El Presidio de Santa Barbara in Santa Barbara, without leaving the classroom. Genovese Environmental Learning Center in Brooklyn, New York, Miss McDonald's third grade class, got a chance to visit there. And Henry Elementary School, Miss Soberg's class, got a chance to actually speak with the author of the book, The Wish List, The Worst Fairy Godmother Ever. And as always, we tie everything back to the standards. All of these virtual field trips and mystery Skypes are indeed tied to Arizona standards. Some classes are making pen pal friends with students on the other side of the globe, and they're sending letters and talking to each other, here again, using Skype. Advanced Spanish class with a school in Buenos Aires, Argentina. You can't get any cooler than that. There you go. Okay. Where will we go next? We've had many schools do mystery Skypes and virtual field trips, and the list keeps getting bigger and bigger. And once again, all of those resources can be found in the Microsoft educator community. If it's summertime in Tucson, that means it's time for PD. So the Instructional Technology Department, among other entities, has conducted summer PD on, among other things, Office 365 with teachers. Now this is important. Well, it's all important, but when we see MIE expert and MIE master trainer. And what it means is we are building capacity internally to train teachers and instructional staff and departments on how best to utilize Office 365. So, for instance, when Dr. Trujillo, it says there has his MIE, that means he has begun the journey of utilizing, not just using Microsoft learning tools, but utilizing them to impact instruction. That's the first step of joining the Global Professional Learning Network to learn, share, and grow. The MIE educator experts, we're going to come back to that. I'm going to skip down to Sorrel High School has started the journey of digital transformation. That's what that means. They are a Microsoft school, which means they have decided, they've made a conscious effort to utilize Microsoft learning tools to impact instruction in teaching and learning. Choya, as I said earlier, started out as a Microsoft school, and now they've been selected as, again, the only Microsoft Showcase School in the state of Arizona. We have people all throughout the district, not just teachers, which is impressive enough. We have department personnel who took on the challenge of either coming to an in-person class or learning online through a learning path in the Microsoft educator community on becoming a Microsoft Innovative Educator, Master Trainer, or Trainer. Sulema Stanbrook, the principal over at Lawrence, is the first principal in the district to actually become an MIE trainer. The experts, and I want to emphasize this, I cannot emphasize this enough. On the planet Earth, there are 7,500 Microsoft Innovative Educator experts. The state of Arizona has 14. Tucson Unified School District has 9.
9 of the 14.
9 of the 14 are Tucson Unified School District, and you have to be selected by Microsoft in order to do that. So one of the things we did with this capacity, along with training teachers, we also trained office personnel, and we were able to do that because we already built the internal capacity from the Microsoft Innovative Educator Trainer program. So we had some MIE trainers train Office stars this summer on Office 365. And as I said, we have 9. Now, in the state of Arizona last school year, there were only 2 in the state. This year, we have 9. We're just getting started. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions? Ms. Foster.
So how is Office 365 different or similar to Google Classroom?
They are both platforms. They both work well. As a district, we were committed to Office 365. Here's an example.
Are they the same?
Well, let me give you an
different.
example. There are some similarities. To my knowledge, Google does not have something that behaves like Sway, which is what you're seeing now, number one. Number two, with Google, once you reach a certain level of professional development, you, as the individual, you have to pay for that. Microsoft, totally free. Every person who earned a badge to represent professional development that they earned through the Microsoft educator community, totally free. Google, you reach a point you have to pay the rest of the way. Apple is the same way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had to pay dearly for my MCSE.
Oh.
You know what? Miss Sedgwick.
I'll just say thank you. I thought I'm super exciting, and I hear back from the teachers who've had training. They liked the training. They appreciated the PD, and as far as I know, they're using it in their classrooms. And this is neat. I wanted to just now get on and start making my own Sway, so it kind of invites you into it, and it's great.
Office 365 for board members will be coming soon.
There you go.
We have it, don't we?
We have OneNote,
We
I
have a
believe.
portion of it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you for all this that you're doing.
Thank you.
And
for
I've
waiting.
seen this. I teach Microsoft, so
Oh, cool. If I may, I just have a
Sure.
few people to thank. I'd like to thank the entire Technology Services Department for working behind the scenes to get this thing off the ground, one of whom is right here with me, Mr. Paul Marchek. There's Mr. Robbie Hamadi. I'd like to also thank the Instructional Technology Department, beginning with Mr. Bob Kramer, Ms. Crystal Enriquez, Ms. Tracy Rowley, who's sitting right there,
then-
Ms. Sylvia Quigley, Ms. Heba Mueller, Ms. Leland English, and I just can't thank you guys enough for helping us get this off the ground. So thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not easy to do. So thank you very much.